Hello and welcome once again to my garage here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. It's time now for another episode in my Junkyard pickup series. Since, as you can see, the garage is empty, we're going to bounce to the junkyard and we're going to buy something, fix it up, and sell it. I hope that we find a nice muscle car this time. Something like I really would like to find a Ford Mach 1 Mustang, but a Plymouth Roadrunner or a Dodge Charger or Challenger or the Plymouth Barracuda, any of those would be nice. Even some of the in-game cars like the Chieftain would be cool. I like the Chieftain Bandit and the TBX. But we're here. Let's see what we can find. Not starting off well, though. Nothing in the first few spots. I see something over there. That's a Porsche. And this looks like one of the generic cars. Oh, no. Sakura Moon. Yeah, it's like the generic sedan. And this is either a 911 RS America, so that's the normally aspirated 911. I'll do that if there's nothing else here. Wow, that's terrible. 2 cars. There's only 2 cars in here. At least one of them is something interesting. Okay, so here she is. As usual, I'll begin by removing any body parts that are here, and I'll pull out any parts that are just attached to the body of the car. Okay, now we'll start by... Oh, nope, I'm not done. There's no ABS on this car, and the oil filter is back here on the body. Yeah, 964. I forgot which one it was. because the 991 stuff is different. That's for the other Porsche. And here we get into like expensive body parts. $950 for the rear bumper, $1,100 for the front bumper. I usually put I put Washington plates on cars because I'm from Washington. I am open to putting other plates on cars if I receive requests to do so, however. It looks like there's three cylinders and 2 heads on this thing. The engine in this car is really kind of fiddly, but it's fun to assemble, and I actually think I have a bunch of these exhaust parts left over from the last time I built one of these cars when I bought extra ones. Let's get the body parts put in now. Have to remember to put that battery in, or I'd have to take the fender off again to get it in there. Okay, that should get the body to 100%. Oh, not quite. Okay, now we can move it, get it to the left, and get it cleaned up. The factory color is black on this car. I might leave it that way, I don't know. I have both of the 911s in my private garage, so I don't need to keep this one. I can paint it some other color. I will just go ahead and... No. Let's do the other thing first. I'm going to replace the fuel tank. There's no pump in this one, so that means this will be easy to slap the new one in. I like to get this easy stuff out of the way first before I really delve into the rest of it. That should be all of that stuff. Yeah, the engine and the suspension now. So now I can go ahead and kick it over to the paint shop and make it look pretty. that is blacker than black. Like ink spot black. Looks like that Bentley Continental that I did in the last episode was also black, black, black. I guess I'm turning out cars for evil geniuses or something right now. Let's take a quick look and see how much value it has since it's been cosmetically cleaned up. $64,000. I really should have made a note of what I paid for it. I think it was $54,000. Something to that effect. I'm going to have to actually look at the video later and see. But that's fine. Now we can begin really taking it apart in earnest. Okay, and that's our front end. So first thing I'll do is make the double wishbone suspension pieces, and I'll start throwing away everything that's not repairable. I will also dismount the tires from the rims and see if I can save either of the rims. It's a little bit of an extra step because I don't think the Porsche rims, the RS rims, are that expensive. Thinking about it, I kind of like to put the other turbo rims, because the turbo rims, the RS rims have the black, like just the black Porsche logo in the middle, and the turbo rims have one that's in color. I don't think I bought the brake parts. I need to do that too. I need to flush all these bushings too. I think I got a little bit ahead of myself there. So that was 12 bushings. And then the brakes, 2 of everything. Brake disc ventilated on the front. To keep track of those tires too, because I don't remember off the top of my head what the size should be. Oh, that rim is 8%. What was the other one? 31%? One of those probably won't repair. So those tires are 235, 40, 18. And let's see what we can repair now. Not too bad. I think we got... Oh, missed a hub. I already bought those, though. That's not too bad. One rim and the front axle knuckle covers and the steering knuckle. And that was knuckle B. Okay, all we need to do now is get these tires mounted and balanced, and we'll be ready to start assembly. Okie doke. I'll start slapping this stuff together. I do recommend putting the bushings into the crossmember right away, because if you forget one and you assemble everything else, you'll be tearing your hair out trying to find it. Okay, this side is done. Alright, the front is done. And it looks, if you don't look at the back end, it looks pretty good. Let's see where we are now value-wise. We've jumped 10 grand. I think it was 64 last time, 76 now. Let's get to work on the back. And this is where the real meat of this is going to be. Since there's no cross member, that's only 8 bushings to remember to get. I think I have to make sure to not buy extra exhaust parts. I'm pretty sure I have some of those exhaust parts already from another Porsche that I was working on, and I bought more than I needed by accident. I always forget to get the hub bearing out. And it's like, oh, get the hub bearing, then you can have the wheel hub. This thing doesn't have a starter in it. Yeah, no, it would be up there. This is one of those cars that's kind of a pain, because you have to put it up to get the transmission put in, and then you have to put it down to put the starter in. Go ahead and yank the clutch parts now because I'm going to throw them away and buy performance pieces. And let's go ahead and drop the car and yank what's left of that engine. I'm pretty sure the pipes won't be repairable. I'm not going to repair... See, I did this once. I took a whole bunch of stuff off of an engine like this, and I repaired a bunch of rusty old cylinders and heads. And I had bought the performance pieces of the same things, intending to use them, but then when I assembled the engine, I wasn't paying attention. And I put on some of the repaired generic pieces rather than the performance pieces, and I didn't realize it till the engine was completely reassembled, and at that point I was not going to take it all apart again just to get them back. So 8 bushings. Need to remember to buy the double wishbone parts for the rear suspension. Go ahead and buy the brakes. And the hubs. I wasn't paying attention. Was it rear? I hope it was. I think it was just the generic rear wheel hub. Let's hope. No, it was not. So I bought the wrong hubs. I need rear wheel hub B. Let's go ahead and assemble the shocks and get the wheels, get the tires dismounted. Those rims are both in the 30s, so hopefully those will be repairable pretty easily. Let's flush the clutch parts so I can buy new ones. I can flush the gear. Well, you know what? Sometimes you can repair parts and then sell them and make a little bit more money off of them. I'll see if I can repair like this gearbox and these engine cylinders and stuff. The clutch parts, though, I'm going to get rid of because I'm buying performance parts for that. I know this car needs 12 spark plugs. I'll go ahead and buy them now, just like the pistons. I know it's going to need 6 of these. And the piston rings, I'll go ahead and buy those. I could actually buy a whole bunch of parts now, because I know I've done enough B6 engines for the Porsche 911s that I know pretty much all the parts that they need. Let's not get too far ahead of myself. Let's see about the exhaust parts. Rear exhaust section A, I've got one of those. Rear exhaust section B, I've got A and B both for the RS. Actually, this is like the entire rear exhaust section for the RS. That's good. I already have all of them. And this is for the turbo. The rear exhaust section A 964 is for the turbo. Oh, let's make a note of the tires too. 265, 35, 18. Yep, bought the right size. Good. Okay, let's go see what we can repair. Oops, something broke. What did we lose? So, let's see, repaired 2 of the engine heads and the gearbox, which of course I'm not keeping. These can just go in the trash. Let's see how much this is worth repaired. 450 bucks. That's not too bad. And this, yeah, 450. What's the transmission worth? 750. Yeah, it's worth repairing them and selling them. Actually repaired that pipe. That surprises me. I didn't expect that to happen. Oh, so rear drive axle B, bottom suspension arm B. Okay, now we can mount and balance the tires. Those are big wheels. Not as big as the first time I tried to sit down and record an episode for this, the first car that I picked up was a Pagani Zonda, and it has huge tires on it. And we'll put all the back end stuff on that we can until we won't be able to put on like the wheels and the drive axles because the transmission's not in it. let's go ahead and buy a starter now while I'm thinking about it. God, I should know this by now. I can't remember. I don't think it uses the V8 starter, but I have been wrong before. Okay, yeah, just the regular starter. That's good. And I'll wait to install the exhaust until the engine is back in the car. Oh crap, I didn't buy the bushings. Oh, after I made a point of counting out how many bushings I needed, I didn't buy them. Alright, and that's as far as we can go with the car itself until the engine is back in it. $73,000. It's not too bad for a car with no engine and no rear wheels. So I'm going to take this apart, and we will try to repair as many of the caps as we can. The crankshaft and the shaft. This has a shaft and a crankshaft. And usually those are both repairable. Usually when I do one of these, I only manage to repair one of the two engine blocks. But who knows, we might get lucky. And all of these pistons and rings are trash. Even if they were repairable, I wouldn't be using them anyway. So the shaft, I think we repaired it, and the crankshaft, we're only going to get back one of those. So we'll have to buy, oops, see, look, I didn't repair either of the blocks. Going to have to buy 2 crankshaft caps and 2 rod caps. So I'm going to go ahead and buy as much as I can remember that I need. Whoops. Now. Because I know... Let's see. This is not the turbo, so I'm going to need this and this. Wait. I think I might have one of those. I do have a throttle. Okay. Let's see, let's get rid of the junk parts. I need 3 more of those. I need cam gears and timing pieces. I think that's got an ignition cap, so I'll need the distributor and another one of those. So I need to buy 2 of these. That should be it from here. No. I'm forgetting something. Air filter. And it's actually this one, I think. Because one of these is the turbo and the other one is the regular one. And I never can remember which one is which. I know I'm going to need an alternator and a blower, 2 cam gears, 2 camshaft bearings. I think I need the cover. I think I need the B6B cover. I know I need 2 of those, 2 of those, 1 of them, 1 of these, 1 of these, 3 of these, 1 of those, all of the serpentine belts, 2 timing chains, 2 timing shoes, cover, 2 of these covers. I think that's pretty close to everything. And it needs 4 clips because it has 2 distributor caps on the ignition distributor, even though there's no rotor. So now I can commence assembly of this thing. This is a weird engine too. This is one thing that this is something that ever since I started playing this game that really kind of brings it home that you're playing a game. Because I mean, obviously gravity doesn't exist in my garage here, because there's no way you could just stick these things on here and have them float in the air like this. I didn't junk those other rod caps. There's something I knew I forgot. Power steering pump. I love the shiny performance parts. They just make me happy. I need to remember. I'm gonna stick in the other cylinder, and I'll stick in the other pipes, and then I'm gonna break out and get the. I'm gonna break out, get that crankshaft pulley and the power steering pump, and I think. I can't remember. No, I don't think there's a roller, because when the alternator goes on, it has a pulley. now we get into some really heavy bolting things on bits. So each cylinder head has 2 spark plugs and 4 nuts that go on because the bolts stick out of the block. I didn't put the plugs in that middle one. Okay, so the camshaft, and then the bearing, and then the head covers. And the manifold. If I slap in the timing section, then this side of the engine is completely done. And then we'll repeat that whole process over here. It was block cover B6C. I'm glad I didn't buy the other one. I've never seen one of these things in real life, but I assume that this block cover is made of steel. It looks like it's pretty heavy. I do not understand why it'll let you put in the fuel rail first, though, before you put in the manifold. I mean, because clearly the fuel rail sockets are in the manifold. So I don't really understand why it'll let you do that. So air filter cover B6. I never can remember which clips it takes. This is like the only air filter box that takes clip B instead of clip A. Usually you can remember that the air filter box takes clip A because, you know, A for air, but not this one. And that should complete this engine. Let's give it a quick look around. Yep. Everything that's supposed to be there is there. So now we can take it off the stand and put it in our pocket. I should have lowered the car. So the first thing I like to do when I install a new engine is put oil in the car right away so I don't forget. I can't think of anything that'd be more embarrassing for a real mechanic to build a car, do all this work, and then destroy it by running it without oil. So now all of these exhaust pieces can go on. And that should be all of that. And the transmission can go on. And it still annoys me that I can't install the starter from here. That's everything but the starter. Parts condition now should be something like 97 or 98%. Okay, let's take a look and see what we got. Global body precision. Oh, what did I not put in? Ah, there it is. That kind of messed me up there for a second. Global body condition 100, 100, 100, 100. We're up to 180 grand. Call it 200, call it 216 grand. Let's go ahead and run her on the dyno real quick and see what we get. So the factory engine power is 264. It's not a turbocharged engine, so probably, I don't know, I think we should hit at least 500. 479. Well, I mean, it's only a 6-cylinder and it's not turbocharged, so that's fine though. It's still a car that would kill somebody who didn't know what they were doing. I'm going to make a stab at this speed track and see how it goes. Okay. Driving physics in this game are awful, and I don't have a steering wheel, so I expect to not be able to keep it in a straight line. Yep, see? The car really, I mean, it really shouldn't be like trying to push a grease ball bearing across a sheet of ice. I mean, I really need to make a set of tires with racing slicks on them for these kind of speed runs, because that seems to be the only thing that gives me any traction out here. 260, 270? Not quite. 267, that's respectable for a non-turbocharged car. Okie doke, we're done. Car is completely done, tested, ready to go out to the showroom to be sold. So let's kick her out of here and see what we made. $216,000. And I think it was about $54,000 that I paid for it. So that's completely acceptable to me. So that's the end of this episode. If you made it this far, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.